Thank you for joining me, Cemetery Trekker, for Part 2 in Fowler Family Cemetery. We begin today with Joseph F. and his wife Sarah Elizabeth Childs Fowler. Joseph was born 24 November 1880 and died 26 October 1959. He was 78. His parents were Lindsay, a.k.a. York, and Sarah Catherine Sally Fowler. York died 10 December 1881 when Joseph was just over a year. Sarah Elizabeth Childs Fowler was born 1 August 1884 and died 15 June 1966. Her parents, Reverend John Jackson Childs and Mary A. Fowler Childs. Joseph's mother and Sarah's mother were sisters. That makes Sarah and Joseph here first cousins. Larkin M. Fowler, born 1 November 1854 and died 28 May 1919. He was 64. His parents were William James and Louisa Elrod Fowler. He was the brother to John J. Fowler from Part 1. He married Isabella Johnson in 1879 and had a child by 1880, John, at 9 months. Other children were Azalee Fowler Bennett, age 14, Sarah Alice Victoria Fowler Fleming, age 12, Arminda, age 9, and Lucy, age 7. This was the 1900 Franklin County Census. 1910 Cannon Franklin County Census shows Larkin 55, Isabella 55, and William Lawrence, age 7. He was listed as an adopted son. His appearance is a mystery. Martha Isabella Johnson Fowler was born 10 March 1854 and died 24 February 1924. She was 69. Her parents are unknown. However, an 1870 Hart County census was located that shows Isabella, age 16, living with her mother, Mary Johnson, age 40, along with her other siblings. They were all living with Bartlett Hilliard and his wife Millie. They were 73. The relationship is unknown to Mary Johnson, but it's possible these are her parents. Liddy Fowler, born Flag Day, June 14, 1915, and died May 15, 1917. She was the child of Joseph and Sarah Fowler. Louisa Elrod Fowler, born January 1825 in South Carolina and died 11 July 1905. Her parents are unknown. She married William James Fowler, who was born 20 June 1820 in South Carolina, and his death is unknown. The 1860 census for Carnesville, Georgia, shows William 38 and Louisa 34. Son William T 15, Obadiah 14, Elizabeth 11, Joseph W, and Larkin as age 7. Sarah C, age 3, and Martha A, 4 months. Later census shows Joseph 17 and Larkin 15. Lunar Fowler, born 29 January 1909 and died 5 June 1909, was just 4 months. Her parents were Joseph and Sarah Fowler. Thomas A. Fowler, born October 28, 1881. No information available. Tom Fowler, born May 13, 1913, and died October 9, 1935, in Royston, Georgia. His parents were George M. Fowler and Evelyn Evie Bowers Fowler. He died from a crushed lung, hemorrhage, and concussion of the brain from an auto accident. Louis T. Griffin, Corporal, U.S. Army, Korea, March 1st, 1923 to January 23rd, 2010. His parents were Louis Ashley Griffin and Addie Dora Powers Griffin. His siblings were Ruby Griffin Carter, Elton Griffin, and a half-sibling, Jack Thomas Harris. Elsie Grizzle died 17 October 1995. She's also known as Angel Rose. No other information has been found on her. Annie Childs Hedden, born 20 July 1898 and died 7 July 1918. At 19 years, 11 months, and 13 days. She was the wife of E.S. Hedden. No other information is found. Robert Hill is the husband of Alice Fowler Fleming. He was born January 10, 1885, and died January 16, 1915. Their children are Clifford Sherlin, born in 1910, and Benjamin Franklin, born in 1913. Infant Fowler is a child of Joseph and Sarah Fowler. No dates are found. Flora B. Johnson, born 9 January 1914 and died 17 September 1971 at age 57. Her parents were James Samuel Burns and Lula Etta Reed Burns. And by the 1930 census, Flora's father was deceased. She was only 16. Her husband is J. Wayman Johnson Sr., and they had one child, J. Wayman Buck Johnson Jr. J. Wayman Johnson, born 1912 and died in 1965. On the 1940 Harris Whitesville, Georgia census shows Flora and Wayman with Polly, age 4, and J.W. Jr., age 1. Wayman and Flora were 27 and 26, respectively. Wayman worked as a tractor driver in construction. By 1950, Flora and Wayman were living in Walton County, Broken Arrow area of Georgia. He's still a tractor operator in construction. Polly Sue is age 14 and J.W. Jr. is 11, and they have a child, Cheryl, age 2. Flora and Wayman are 36 and 37, respectively. Holly F. Johnson was born 11 February 1888 and died January 1963 at 74. Her husband was Walter L. Johnson, and they had 2 children, Laureen J. Johnson, sailors, and J. Wayman Johnson Sr. Walter L. Johnson, born 15 May 1888 and died 1964. He was 75 or 76. In World War I, he registered on 5 June 1917. His parents were William and Mary Johnson, based on the 1900 Hart County census. Walter was found on the 1920 census. It shows him and Holly married. Lorraine was 10, Wayman was 7. They were living in Hart County of Cannon, Georgia. Based on the ages of Lorraine and Wayman, it is presumed they were married in 1908. J. Wayman Johnson Jr., a.k.a. Buck, was born 27 November 1938 and died 25 August 2005. He was 66. He was the son of Flora B. and J. Wayman Johnson Sr. Residential record shows that John was living in Winder, Barrow County, Georgia. No other information has been found. Isom, or Ike, and Elizabeth Fowler Peoples. Ike was born in 1886 and died in 1961. Elizabeth was born in 1889 and died 1925. However, her death certificate shows August 17, 1924 in Cannon, Georgia, and she died with tuberculosis. She was 36. Ike's parents were Robert L. Peoples and Lucy E. Brown Peoples. Elizabeth's parents were George M. Fowler and Evie Bowers Fowler. Ike and Elizabeth had several children. Jessie May, born 7 September 1915 and died in 1991. Ethel Peoples Gray. Raymond Peoples, Bertie Elrod, and Lenore Peoples, who died born 1911 and died in 1915. Evie L. Childs Powell, born 3 April 1892 and died Flag Day, 14 June 1917. She was 25. Her husband was Andrew Wiley Powell, and he was born in 1889. Evie died about 3 weeks before her daughter was born in Pickens, South Carolina on 24 May 1892. And then the child died on 1 July 1892. The 1910 Franklin County Census shows Evie and Andrew with one daughter, Dessie J., 10 months, and married 1 year. Evie was 17, Andrew was 21. Lorraine Johnson Sailors, born 28 July 1909 and died 8 October 1991. She was 82. Her parents were Walter L. Johnson and Holly Fleming Johnson. She was married to William Bell Sayers. The child was William Ralph and Charles Dean Sailors. Her brother was J. Wayman Johnson. William Bell Sailors, born 26 May 1902 and died 10 November 1962. He was 60. William and Lorraine had a male child unnamed, born and died March 31st, 1926, listed as stillborn and buried in Fowler Cemetery. William Ralph Sailors, born 27 March 1930, died 9 August 1992 at 62. He was the son of William Bill and Lorraine Johnson Sailors. William was in the U.S. Army, presumed Korea or Vietnam. The 1930 Hart Census shows Ralph at 0 months, as the census was taken 8 April 1930. Just after he was born, he was 12 days old. His parents were 27 and 20, respectively. Lorraine was age 14 at her first marriage, and Bill was 21. The 1940 Hart County Census, Ralph was 10 and had 2 siblings, Catherine 15 and Charles age 1. Before we close out Fowler Family Cemetery, we need to tribute those that are unknown. As with every cemetery, some have field stones at the head and the foot. Some have unengraved headstones waiting for the engraver. Some are sunken indentions and no other markings, which is common in Georgia older cemeteries. Regardless how they are found, they deserve recognition and remembrance. They say you die twice, once at your last breath, and the second time when you are never mentioned again. Several people have made this quote. 2 that I know of are Banksy, which is a graffiti artist, and Ernest Hemingway. So take a trip to your local cemetery and find those unmarked graves and mention them. It doesn't matter if you don't know who they are, for I believe you just acknowledge them keeps them unforgotten.